All right. Well, how do you guys pull out of the slump? I mean, the shooting slump has been there the last two games. So, is there a way to do it? Do you not think about it and just go play? I mean, not just you, but as a team.
It's just a game of basketball. You know, you make shots, you miss shots, and sometimes the ball might not go in some nights. So you just gotta figure out how to when the ball not going and just defend. That's all.
Frustrating as a team when they don't go in.
I think to some people, and just trying to help them understand that you know, be more mad. That I get it that the ball is not going in for us, but be more mad on that defensive side. That you know, like take more pride on that defensive side, even though you are frustrated that the shots is not going in for us.
What do you think the issues have been defensively the past two games?
I think we just ain't been playing hard enough. You know, coach probably says it. We're just not playing hard enough. And y'all seen us when we play hard. Y'all see what we do.
You kind of go down through the rosters of all the Big 12 teams, like all of them have a shooter or maybe two or three good shooters. But only Houston's really been the only team that's kind of done damage against you guys from three-point range this year. So is there something about the way Houston played that game? Or, I mean, what was it? Because, you know, every team's got good shooters. Houston's the only one that's really done damage from the outside. What was the difference in that?
You know, we was in film and, you know, we have our coaches that, you know, do our scout. But when we played them at Houston, you know, coach told them that they shoot excellent at home. You know, they shoot 50% when they're at home as a team, you know. So, like, I think we just got to guard harder. I think when we definitely did, you know, sit down and dead guard, I think we got stops and runs, and we had cut it into a 5-point game at that time. So I think the more that we just keep playing hard on the defensive side, everything will fall for us on offense.
Crier, I mean, is there anything unique to them? I mean, obviously, their shooting numbers are pretty good, but is there anything unique to them that you haven't already seen? I mean, that's kind of...
Nah, I think they're very good players. I think that where we hurt ourselves at is that we made a lot of mistakes on the defensive side, you know, going under a lot of ball screens and gave up a lot of open shots when we didn't need to. So I think we beat ourselves that game.
You guys started slow in both games last week. How do you avoid that tomorrow?
Just play hard. You know, I'm gonna do my part on bringing more energy. I think that I was lacking on that type of side of everything. So I'm gonna bring that, and they're gonna feed off that.
Snowballs like at Kansas State, when they get out to a little bit of a lead, do you guys? I don't want to say get demoralized, but you stop playing as hard, and then it just gets worse and worse?
I don't know. I think just from a standpoint of teams making shots, and I think that we sometimes get frustrated because they making shots and we not. So I think we end up tending to be shying away from, like, spreading away from each other on the defensive side instead of being, like, packed in and helping each other out. And I think most of the time it's, you know, like I said, it's always mistakes with us. We always beating ourselves on a lot of things.
There was one team that you wouldn't want to face trying to straighten out your offense. Houston would probably be it, wouldn't it?
There's nobody that can stop us. We get anything we want offensively.
Playing your team the second time, how does that change things? I mean, they know you as well, so it's not like you're the only team that has a scout. But do you remember tendencies? What do you remember when you play a team the second time through?
We just know what we did last game, and we corrected those. We're gonna correct those, and like I told you, we had cut it into a 5-point game, and we kind of beat ourselves, like I said, off mistakes. That was what in the game plans that we were supposed to be doing. That's really it.
Sincere, for this team to be successful, is it more important for you all to make threes on offense or stop the three on defense? I know you want to do both, but which one is more important?
Defense, obviously. We got to get stops. That's all it's about. We can't just let the other team get buckets that easily and, get energy and then be able to keep scoring the ball. So I think the more we keep getting stops, the more our offense come along.
Take away from that first game and, the way you started the second half, forcing the call a timeout. I think you were within 3 points a couple times. It spreads out, but, did have some punch in that second half that has to come in handy as you get ready for this one.
Are you talking about far as of us being on the defense side, or
you all figured some things out or got more comfortable against them in the second half, and faded obviously, but still
Made it pretty competitive in the middle part of that second half.
I just think it was just more of a, coach talked to us, and that wasn't the team that y'all seen us first half. I think there's more better upside to us. I think there was more of a fight. We just got to keep fighting as we keep going, and I think that just came off to a slow start. A lot of teams hit a lot of tough shots on us most of the time, and I think we get frustrated and complacent with those. So.
With you, Coach DeVries mentioned going under some screens as one of the mistakes you made, but that's not a hard and fast rule even in a game. There's some guys you're going to want to chase. There's some guys you're going to want to play off. So what goes into you recognizing, hey, here comes this guy, I've got to go under. Here comes this guy, I've got to trail. Here comes this guy, we've got a hedge.
That's just our scouting report, on guys that we do that to and the guys that we don't. Obviously, when we did make those mistakes, we gave it to really good shooters. That is a high-level three-point shooter and that can knock down shots at an elite level. So.
Is that the hardest thing to do other than just actually playing defense, staying in front of guys, making sure that you recognize that every trip down the court?
Nah, we just keep fighting, just don't make those mistakes in the game that can hurt us potentially.
Just out of curiosity here, I mean, obviously you guys haven't faced everyone in the Big 12 yet, but obviously some good teams, Kansas, Iowa State, Houston. I mean, you played some of the better teams. Is Houston maybe the best team that you guys have played so far? I mean, where do they rank?
I mean, every team is good in the Big 12. It's a battle every night. But I think there's no team that we're they're just really good and we can't stop it.
Right.
Like I told you, when we play teams and we really sit down and look at film, we always end up beating ourselves because we always make mistakes and when we cut it to a 5-point game or cut it down, then we always kind of make those mistakes, which we are correcting those. So we just can't make those type of mistakes in crucial games like those.
What is the difference, home and away? Playing a team.
Obviously, the crowd. We feed off the energy. Just getting stops. Obviously, we feed off us getting stops on defense and playing hard, and that's really it.
You shoot better at home?
We shoot better at home, away. We get any opportunity. We get a lot of great looks either way, home or away. So, I mean, we get ready and knock them down. That's all.
Does practice or the locker room, though, have a little more desperation, I guess, when you're coming off of two straight losses for the first time this season? Or
Nah, we still stay together as a team. We had definitely had met and talked, but that's really it, though. I mean, we still stayed together as a team, and we didn't separate.
Now that you're deep into Big 12 play, the difference between the Big 10 and the Big 12, do you notice a big difference? Or?
Yeah, there's a very big difference. I was just talking to TJ last night, TJ Shannon, and I was telling him it's way different than Big 10 is more like when you come off ball screens, it's a 2-on-2. When people come off ball screens, it's a lot of help support in those gaps type of thing. And I think defensively, it's a more physical league. Big 10, it's more fast pace in the Big 12. So it's definitely a game changer for me.
Shannon tell you about the Big 12 before you got here with his experience?
Nah. I mean, we talked about it, but it wasn't really nothing crazy. He was just you just don't know who will win every night. So
In the Big Ten? Yeah, I mean, is there a pecking order that you sort of go into a game and go, this team's not very good. We're definitely going to beat them?
most definitely, you always knew, like, you couldn't, even though you couldn't take it for granted, when you came out and still did your job, we was always the better team, you know. But like some night, you always knew who was gonna get that win, you know, with the Purdue, you know, Michigan State, you know, Illinois. Even though those matchups, when you always played those bottom teams, you always knew, like, we got it in the bag for real.
People in Vegas that.
For sure.
Hey, Sencire, you redshirted last year, right?
Yes.
There's, I don't know if you know, there's a rule proposal that might change where everybody just gets 5 years to play 5 seasons, right? As a guy who sat out, couldn't play, you tried to, like, develop, right? Does one seem better than the other for you?
Either or, you know, whenever it's the moment, whatever that moment is required for me, is that required for me taking another year, or is it required for me to, you know, move on to my next chapter from college basketball? Either or, you know. So the road doesn't. I don't know. It just.
Yeah, let me ask you the way that you were able to devote time to your game last year, right? Practicing, skill development, all that stuff. Could you have done that and progressed the way you did if you were still playing games and still part of a rotation? Even if you were, like, I think you said you were going to be further down the bench last year, right?
Yes.
Would it have been as productive for you last year if you were able to play, but also try to improve? And
Yeah, I think so. If I would have played, you know, sometimes I definitely would have, you know, I had my thinking thoughts, you know, me sitting out, would it help? Yeah, me personally, it would have helped me, but, you know, me sitting out, did it help us as a team? I think I could have helped that team because we actually made it far into the, and I think I definitely could have helped out on the defensive side, you know, like I'm always doing. So I think that could have definitely been a beneficial.
Talk to guys who are redshirting now and tell them, hey, you got to be patient. This will be good for you in the long run. Maybe even Tucker, you know, when he's sitting out.
Most definitely. I think I always tell those guys, even the freshmen, is like, I always tell them, like, it's just always be patient, always stay the course, you know. Whenever that time is ready, you know, you'll be ready. Or even with the freshmen, some freshmen ain't playing in college basketball at an elite level, so, you know, I try to encourage them even more.